So you thought you'd got rid of me? No, not yet. I'm still here for another week. We had a live stream on the Friday night with some of the guys, some of the people who follow the channel, and we were talking about what got us into motorcycling and why we enjoyed it so much. So I thought I'd actually take this opportunity to actually interview my own wife. The weather's still a bit, off, bit cold, bit wet, bit windy. So I thought, let's use this opportunity to get Mrs. Burnagas, this one, right, in front of the camera a bit more, and maybe tell you guys who are watching the channel and subscribe to the channel a little bit more how she got into motorcycles and some of the crazy stuff that she's heard in the last, I'm going to say 10 years. 10 years? 10 years since Sarah had a licence, that she's heard from some members of the biker community throughout the world, and we're here in the UK, North Scotland, England, and we've been over in the States. So, interesting times. Okay guys, so as you can see, we're in the garage surrounded by Sarah's motorcycles. So the question I'm going to put to Sarah is, so she can tell you guys as well, is, so what got you into motorcycles, Sarah? What was the thing that drove you to getting a bike and then coming along with me riding?
I hated motorcycles when we first got into them. Like, Gareth got into motorcycles before I did. I'm not the kind of person that will stop someone doing something if that's what they want to do. So you got into motorcycles first.
Yes, that's right.
Passed your test, and I was a bit like, and I decided I would get on the back. And that was alright, but I think I'm the kind of person that likes to be in control of the vehicle that I'm driving, and obviously in this case the motorcycle that I'm riding. So after being on the back of R6 was like
the R6.
It was like being perched up, and I hated seeing like right over your head.
That's right, yeah,
horrible.
Yeah,
and like
right.
Seeing things, like everybody sees things differently, don't they? Like,
yeah,
you might see something further away than I will, or vice versa, or whatever. Tried it a few times, and then you went on to
the Kawasaki. It was the ZZR, the 1100.
And that was really good. And I liked being on.
Yeah, that's right.
I liked being on the back, so like my perception of being on a motorcycle kind of changed at that point.
That's right.
So from there, I went and did a little taster session at a local motorcycle garage that does lessons.
Here in Falkirk, yeah, that's right. The best thing I will say, I will jump in and say that after Sarah did that taster session, like a little small sampler, you came back to me and went, I really want to go forward and do my CBT, so it is worth it. Anybody who's watching this who's maybe thinking about getting into motorcycles, go and try a morning. It'll cost you maybe 20 or 30 pounds.
Just ask at your local.
And they'll show you,
That's right, just ask at your local place that does lessons and things, do you do a taster session? And often they will, and they'll take you to like a place that's like, for me it was like a kind of car park at the back of an industrial estate.
Right.
Like, I picked it up alright, so I thought, right, I'll do my CBT. For those in the States, they might not know what CBT is. It's a compulsory basic training. A lot of people will jump on, get a CBT, get a 125, and then ride about for a while, because you can have that for 2 years before you have to resit it.
That's right, yeah.
But I didn't do that. To be honest, the first time I did my CBT, it lapsed. Like, I did it, and then I didn't go on another bike.
That's right, yeah, because you weren't sure at that point. You still weren't sure.
Well, just like learn. And
no, tell them the truth. You went and bought a motorbike before you got your full licence, remember?
But I passed. I had to redo my CBT. And I passed my CBT, and then I was like, right, I'll get a motorbike.
That's right, yeah.
But there was a place out in Edinburgh that had a really good range of motorcycles, and we went out and looked, and they had a Yamaha Phaser, 600cc Phaser.
That's right, yeah.
And it was so nice. And then we
bought it.
We did buy it.
We bought that Phaser. That was a great bike, by the way. Absolutely fantastic bike.
It was like, the heated grips were so good.
If anybody wants a beginner bike, go and buy a Phaser 600 at Yamaha. It is honestly all rounder. You can do everything on that bike.
I don't know how easy they are to get now.
But great at the time, yeah.
I think it's like the equivalent now is maybe the Tree. Is it?
No, you still get. I think you get an FZ6 now.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, so
But yes, I went and did my full licence, and I did it in the winter, like
That's right, yeah,
February, March kind of time.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Because I thought, well, do you know, I may as well learn be under instruction in the bad weather, and in that way, I'll ride in anything.
Yeah, that's right. So Sarah took, what, 8 weeks?
And that's how long it took for me to even go for my licence
Yeah.
when you getting yours.
You're like, right, so 8 weeks.
But yeah, it took 8 weeks.
I took less than a week, and that was going from having experience of bikes on private ground to like saying I'm going to get a bike for the public road, which is full, and I can get to full power. I was able to pass my test 5 days later and go buy an R6.
Yeah.
It's scary, but
Yes.
so I think it's quite funny that the fact that it's like originally you hated bikes when you met me. I had my licence and you still didn't like it, but you came on the back anyway so you could spend more time with me on the road.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden now, you have your own.
Started off with my Phaser, and then you decided to get a Harley Davidson.
That's right, I got the first Harley. Yeah, which everybody sees on the channel, my first Harley Davidson I still own is my Night Rod Special, which is
It's just been changed a few times.
changed a few times, yeah.
I was just a bit like, initially when you're new to things like that, you kind of want to get involved in everything to do with it, don't you?
That's right, yeah.
So we were like, well, we get involved with the owners group.
That's right,
So
yeah.
they're not going to want me along for the rides on
I remember this, yeah, I
on a
remember this now.
And I'll
Wow.
probably pop in some pictures here, because I have got some pictures
Pictures,
of the Yamaha.
And it's 48.
My first test ride on a 48.
Oh wow,
which
yeah.
It's funny when I looked at that picture yesterday.
She's wearing a pink jacket,
I'm
by the
wearing a
way. If
pink
you watch the previous video, she is wearing the pink
I'm
jacket.
wearing the pink jacket. So, like, when saying no more pink, I really do mean no
Like,
more pink.
no more pink now.
I've not
It's all black clothing now, neutral.
I've not always ridden Harleys.
No.
I did start off in a Yamaha, and now I have an Indian as well as a Harley.
I know, but it's been a long evolution, isn't it? You know, it's like, if you think about it, it's been an evolution of 20 years since probably when we first met to where we are now, between the bikes that we had, because I had sports bikes, you had roughly a sports touring bike.
Yeah.
Now we have cruisers because we just enjoy riding the bikes.
We just like getting out.
Yeah, and we have the option of jumping on. I have well, you guys know who are watching the channel. We have a street glide special, which I can say, so Sarah and I can go together on one bike. If
But I hope you've liked this little introduction to
you.
me.
So what we're going to do now is Sarah's got the top 5 best. What am I going to say? I'm going to say comments or past comments from bikers that have in the last so many years that they've said when they've met Sarah. Now, maybe a lot of you guys have said this to other female pillions or riders that you meet and you don't know, but if you do, and if you have and you've put your big foot in it like most of us have, drop us a comment below.
You've had to like walk away like
with laughter,
like
try not to
away.
laugh. You want to go through the best 5 you've got, or yeah?
Yeah.
Right, so these are going to be Sarah's top 5 comments that she had before or in the early days, shall we say, when she passed her test, leading up to where she is now. So I think we'll start off right at the start, like 10 years ago, before she even bought her Phaser.
So number 1, I would say, would be getting commented on that all my girly stuff's not going to fit into the top box. So there's a top box on the Phaser.
Is that the one with the straighteners and the hairdryer?
It's like, oh, there's not enough. I don't think there's not enough room in there for all your girly bits. And I was just like, okay.
A top box. It was on a Phaser we went and looked at. I remember that one now. Number 2. Right, I'm just trying to think of the ones you're going to come out with. Right, okay.
Going and looking at motorcycles, having my license, and I remember this one day we went to a place, and I was still looking at newer Yamahas, so like a newer version of the Phaser, and like sitting on it and being like, oh, this is really comfortable, and the guy coming over and being like that, oh, that's a lovely bike, there's not a lot of room on the back for a pillion though. And I'm thinking, on the main bit, like sitting, like, hands on the handlebars, like...
Sit on the rider's seat, yeah.
And he was like that, oh, they're not great for two up. And I'm like, okay.
They thought you were Italian.
They thought I was Italian.
So they automatically assume that because you're there with me, they go, well, your man's looking for the bike and you think they're sitting on the back. Yeah, I remember that one now. Well, that was a while ago.
So,
yeah.
I mean, that leads on to number 3. Being told to, like, basically kind of come back when I've got my full license and I can have a try on it. And I'm like that. God damn it, I've got my full license.
Because everyone, I think we've had that one 2 or 3 times, that they've automatically assumed that you come in and you go, oh, you don't have your license. They just think that you're just there with me because I'm looking at like maybe 1000ccs or Harleys or something. They'll go, oh, you're just here as a passenger. That's right. Yeah, I forgot about that one.
Any way I can get it to a degree in the early days before we weren't like, well, before I was really into full-on bikes.
Yeah, that's right.
And like bike involved like around my whole life kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like I know I would go to places with you.
Yeah.
And
so if anybody has anything similarities with their wives or partners who's watching this as well, honestly, any comments below fully appreciated, because we've heard some absolute great ones, absolute crackers, as we would say in Scotland, for Sarah. So that's number 3. Number 4.
The job I'm in right now, no one knew when I first started there that I rode motorcycles. And turning up for work, you know, it's like in a new job, you have like these icebreaker things.
Get to know you.
Get to know you in training sessions.
Yeah.
So we'd be in training for like 6 or 7 weeks before fully starting the job. And they come out with the whole 2 truths and a lie game. And everyone had to make up for 2 truths and a lie and stand up. I generally go to work each day wearing a dress. So I went to work this one day, this game came up, and I said that one of my truths was that I rode motorcycles. And of course everybody was like, oh, your lies, that you ride motorcycles, look at you in your dress.
I remember these text messages now at lunch. Yeah, that's right.
And then I told them and they were just like, not a chance. Like, prove that you ride motorcycles. I was like, right, fine. Out with the phone as you do, like bringing up the pictures. Here I am here. I think we're quite involved in like Harley.
Yeah, we were involved in Harley at the time, yeah.
So I was like showing them, and it was just like, the look was just like, okay.
I still think that's brilliant. That's one of the best ones. That's definitely one of the best ones.
It's so, like, don't base everything on appearances when you see people, because they might.
Because you get everybody who's probably watching this, you know yourself, some bikers have an image, don't they? And like guys, we kind of walk around, we've got tattoos and like we're wearing like hoodies with Harley Davidson and hats and stuff. I do anyway. And people will go, well, he obviously 99% true, positive that he rides a bike, whereas you don't dress like you ride a bike.
No.
Most days
like
at all.
Work days and things.
That's right. Yeah. So number 5, Sarah.
Number 5, I don't really think is a comment, more than just a look from another female. Like, I don't know the lady, and maybe she was just a bit like, what the heck? The lady was just like looking at me, because she had obviously seen that we were together, and she was just looking at me as if to say, there's no pillion seat on that bike. Where is she going?
That's right.
It was just a look of like pure confusion.
Oh, was it a street light?
It was a street light.
Was it a street light? Right, okay, right.
And then I obviously then turned and got on my slim, and she was like that, like kind of pulled her head away as if to say, oh,
but
okay.
Not to be all, I think with this though, is so what's coming to my mind after this number 5, some of the compliments you've had from women though are really good. And you'll get other female riders that'll walk up to Sarah and they'll go, what's it like? And that's one of the biggest things. It's like, and then you sit there and you start like engaging with them and talking and chatting, and you're not friends with them, but they recognise you when you see them again, because just like the biker community is pretty, it's not small, but it's tight, it's a close-knit community. So Sarah gets seen, in other parts of Scotland, they'll always say to her like, oh, how are you? And even though you can't remember everybody's name, it's nice because they always say, "Oh, what's it like to ride that bike that you've got?" And you've had a lot, even though you've had some crazy cracking questions.
Yeah, I have had
You get a lot of compliments as well.
compliments,
So
yeah.
yeah,
I mean,
so-
especially on that, like
yeah, on the Softail,
the
yeah,
things that people get in, like the people will chat to you.
yeah, oh, biker community,
Mhm.
yeah, definitely.
But even like if you go out on your own, that people will chat to you, like just general people that are about.
Yeah,
Like if I pull in a car park on my own and stuff, then I have had people coming over, and I'm sure many of you have.
yeah.
But like
it's a
they'll
thing,
come
isn't
over
it?
and they'll be like looking at your bike and they'll engage in conversation, and it's nice to be able to have that with people.
Oh yeah, you know what I mean. I think it's all about you're sharing that information with people, and people will come over and ask, and they'll say, "Oh, what do you think of it?" And I'm thinking about buying one, and if you've got modifications, they'll ask you where did you get it, and
Yeah.
I think that's great because you're sharing that information because everybody just wants to. We all just get along and we see each other on the road. So it's almost a case of if you're ever in a situation, you're all there to help each other as well.
Yeah,
So
definitely. So I hope you've enjoyed our little chat video, talking about how I got into motorcycling and just reminiscing on past funny comments and things that have happened in the past since getting my motorcycle licence. It has been a good one to be able to go over and
that's
just talk about it and remember it. It gave us a good laugh anyway. I hope
Yeah.
it gave you a good laugh too. I hope you'll join us in the next video, and as always, keep hauling ass.